try to be objective with all of my sports coverage, and listen, Jacy Sheldon objectively should be suspended for this play. I just don't know in what world, in what universe you watch that play back and you go, that was a basketball play. She was trying to make a basketball move, especially with all the angles of this.
The voices are getting louder. The frustration has reached a boiling point. Fans across the basketball world are demanding justice after Jacy Sheldon's vicious attack on Caitlin Clark, and the WNBA community is making it crystal clear. They want Sheldon to face real consequences. What unfolded wasn't just reckless. It was a dangerous act that could have ended the career of women's basketball's biggest superstar. And now, the pressure is on the league to respond with more than just a slap on the wrist.
Sheldon was clearly targeting Caitlin Clark most of this game, and that is, that comes from a function of, she guarded her in one-on-one situations a lot up the court, and then rolled into a lot of doubles in the half court, but there was talking and chirping all game, and for me, it was punctuated by Caitlin Clark's final play before she came out of the game, where she stares Jacy Sheldon down, essentially demonstrates, she's like, if you poke me in my eye, I will shoot it in yours. And she crosses her, finds the favorite spot, free throw line extended from the logo area, big fuck you 3 to Jacy Sheldon, yells at the Connecticut bench, yells at the crowd. Her and Jacy Sheldon come back together. Caitlin fires up the audience, basically tells Jacy Sheldon, you are a bum.
If you're enjoying this breakdown, make sure to subscribe, because what happened next only made the situation uglier. After jabbing Clark in the eye, Sheldon doubled down, yanking her arm and raking her nails across Clark's skin in what looked like a deliberate attempt to escalate the injury. No whistle, no call, nothing. And before Clark could even recover from the cheap shot, Marina Mabrey came flying in, blindsiding her with a shove from behind that sent her crashing to the floor. The referees? Silent. The league's supposed protectors? Nowhere to be found.
Every time Caitlin Clark takes the court, her opponents act like they've been booked for a main event brawl. The WNBA is doing nothing about it. Opponents aren't playing ball. They're strategically ambushing her. They're trying to injure her. Opponents bring chaos. She brings composure. And what Sophie did last night is completely valid. The WNBA has to do something about that.
The fallout was instant. Within hours of Sheldon's cheap shot, the frustration that fans have been bottling up for years finally boiled over. Social media went nuclear, flooded with demands for accountability, calls for fines big enough to hurt, even season-long suspensions. The hashtag ban Jacy Sheldon started trending across multiple platforms, amplifying the outrage into a movement. Clark's supporters stormed Sheldon's Instagram, leaving a trail of blistering comments, branding her unprofessional, jealous, and even questioning if she deserves a roster spot in any professional league.
Clark and Jacy Sheldon. There is a legitimate hatred there. If you guys have heard, this Ohio State team, this 2023 Ohio State team, hated that Iowa team. And this is Jacy Sheldon, who was Caitlin Clark's direct matchup in these games. Like I tweeted out, forget Angel, forget Dejanay. This is Caitlin Clark's one true rival.
Even the big names outside of sports couldn't stay silent. Jimmy Fallon took a break from late-night laughs to use his Tonight Show monologue as a soapbox, pleading with the league. What is going on in the WNBA? Protect Caitlin Clark at all costs. Please. Enough of this. Please. When comedians are dropping the jokes and begging for change, you know the issue has exploded beyond basketball. Meanwhile, Barstool's Dave Portnoy lit up social media with his trademark bluntness, ripping Sheldon and Mabrey as jealous loser punks and saying they belong in a beer league where no one's watching. Brutal words, but they resonated with a fed-up fan base. This is exactly the kind of mainstream attention the WNBA dreads. Headlines and viral clips that don't celebrate progress, but spotlight failure. Failure to protect their golden ticket, failure to uphold fairness, and failure to recognize the damage being done to their most valuable star.
Funny thing about that whole Caitlin and Jacy situation last night is it's like on a if you know thing. These two have been running a friendly fade on the court for like the last 4 years. They played in college, had great battles, so I'm not surprised last night happened.
To understand why fans are demanding Sheldon face real punishment, You have to grasp the sheer economic gravity of Caitlin Clark. The numbers aren't just impressive, they're historic. According to Dr. Ryan Brewer, an associate professor of finance at Indiana University Columbus, Clark accounted for 26.5% of all WNBA economic activity during her rookie year alone. Think about that. More than a quarter of the league's financial heartbeat tied to one player, and she was making just $76,535, barely above the salary of a mid-level office manager. Brewer's 2025 projections are even more staggering. He estimates Clark could drive nearly $1 billion in economic impact this season. That's billion with a B, a figure that overshadows the entire history of women's professional basketball. When a single player carries that kind of weight, failing to protect her isn't just reckless, it's financial malpractice. Allowing her to be targeted, fouled, and even injured doesn't just risk her career. It risks the very foundation of the league's survival.
Oh, you know what? I'm just going to be me. I don't go in there trying to predetermine anything. I'm dialed in. I need to focus on hitting my shots, making sure I'm executing the schemes right. I'm not focused on the extracurricular activities. And you know what? During that, it was just part of the game. I think the refs had a lot to do with that. It was a build-up for a couple of years now of them just not protecting, the star player of the WNBA. And so at the end of the day, I'm going to protect my teammates. That's what I do. And I'm a team player, so it's all good.
The sentiment is spreading like wildfire across social media platforms and sports forums. Fans are pleading, demanding for the WNBA to step in and impose a massive fine on Sheldon, one so heavy it finally sends a message. Enough is enough. If the league won't protect their golden goose with proper officiating, then they'd better protect her through deterrence. Make the financial punishment severe, make it public, and make it clear. Anyone who targets Caitlin Clark will pay the price.
Look at it from behind or from the side. It's so obvious that she straight up leapt out towards Caitlin and got her right in the eye. And the more I try and watch it back and you try to be objective, there is no world where this was a basketball play. And yes, she was playing tough defense on Caitlin up until that point, but she leapt forward, and it's not like it's defensible where you can say she tried to get the ball, because her hand at that point was so far away from where the ball was. It's not like Caitlin was dribbling the ball up near her face. How she was not ejected for this, I don't know. The broadcast was talking about it, and that's why Sophie Cunningham even had the opportunity to hard foul her at the end. I don't know what you do, but the league's got to do something.